Hi guys, it's Belle here and I'm back with day 18 of Junk Journal July 2024, hosted by the lovely Meg Journals in collaboration with Get Messy Art. Links are down below. I'm literally filming this right after finishing day 17 and I just want to show you I've actually added to day 17 this metal corner. This corner was just bothering me because it's so top heavy here, but I wanted to keep this and it was just bothering me. And it was as I was getting all the other bits for today's video that I came across one of these metal corners that I have in my stash. The glue's still wet, but I really think that corner just finishes the whole piece off. So I just wanted to show you that. And the page we're going to work on today is this one. So I'm going to set this aside. And I'm also going to take it out of here, which will give it time. And you can see this page already has this stitching on it from this page. So we're going to do a simpler one today. I say simpler. It is simple. It's not got too much decoration on the page at all. The prompt today is free. Now, I had lots of ideas come to my mind, but for some reason, one of the ideas that really came to my mind was the old saying, free as a bird. And then for some reason, the idea of free verse poetry. Now, I'm not going to write a poem, but that did make me think about something in particular. So the first thing we're going to do so that it can dry is I have this bird die cut. Now, I was gifted this. I don't know who by, I can't remember, but I was gifted it. So it's black. It just fits here. We're not doing too much else of it. And what we're going to do is we're going to use some gilding flakes on this. Now, these are the ones I really love, the Cosmic Shimmer Gilding Flakes, and it's the Autumn Leaves one. So they've got blues and golds and reds and all sorts. I love this. Now, I know there's a particular glue that you can buy that goes with gilding flakes and all that good stuff, but if I'm being honest, I just tend to use this glue or my tacky glue. It works just as well for me as long as I make sure to press down and get the whole surface area covered. So why buy another one when this works just as well, you know? Otherwise I'd have so many glues on my table that it would just be crazy. So what I do need to do, and this is where it gets messy, is I need to press that down so it covers the whole space. And this is textured card, so it's making it even more vital to get as much glue into all the areas as possible with my smooshy finger tool. So it'll be interesting to see what other people come up with for the idea of free. It could just be free stuff, like stuff you get out of the recycle bin. Things like that. So I'm going to bring this over, and it's already quite dry and tacky because that glue dries quite quickly, and I'm just going to pull out my gilding flakes and just randomly put them all over this. And I'm doing it obviously in this tray so that it keeps, because gilding flakes are a nightmare. They go everywhere, guys, if you haven't worked with them. But they also have the most amazing effect. I love gilding flakes. I love using them in my journals, on the edge of journal pages, on ephemera, stamping. I just love, and I particularly love this collection of gilding flakes, the Autumn Leaves. I'm not kidding you, I've had this probably about 5 years now, and I gild quite a bit. And you know, as long as you kind of put all the, even the teeniest bits, my fingers are going to be gilded now. Now I'm making sure that's pushed down because, as I said, I'm using a different glue, and we'll come back to that when that's a bit drier. So the other thing I thought of for free is the fact that, you know, if you're cutting images for free or freehand drawing, things like that. So we have these interesting shapes. And as I want the bird and the kind of poetry to be the main focus, I just pulled out some, I'm looking at the colours of the bird whilst that's drying actually. I'm looking at these and I'm having a good look and deciding, like, that's so pretty, but it might distract from it. I think I want paler ones, maybe this yellow. And this blue dotty one's good. We could do the green. I think I prefer the one with the flower. We have got the pink. I could use the pink instead of the yellow. Okay. And I'm just roughly going to, still, even when it's in there, the gilding flakes everywhere. I'm just roughly going to kind of, I can feel that. And I'm just going to push it down and roughly draw something. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it's freehand. And I'm just going to stick these with a little bit of, yeah, look at that. It fits in there. I'm going to ink around it, I think. Some walnut stain just to help it stand out. But it fits in there. And that's what we're going to do. We're just going to put a little bit of decoration. It's already got a tab that I can put the number on. So that's good. If I can find my number stamps, because I didn't pull those out for some reason. Okay. What are you doing, Belle? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what other people thought of three. Free as a bird, free poetry, freehand drawing. I mean, it's just interesting where the brain can go to. We're going to use this one. I'm really, if I do this, I can actually see the outline of the stitching, which is great because look at that, guys. I've got the outline of the stitching. I don't even need to draw it. I just thought it'd be fun to kind of, I've got this page, so why not utilize the stitching on the other side and kind of make it work with the page that I'm doing. And actually, we're not going to stamp the number. I'm going to write the number on. Again, doing it freehand. Not, yeah. So I'm using free in different ways, or the prompt free in different ways. Okay, so that's been glued. Let's put that in there. Yeah, I just thought it'd be fun to use the stitching. You know, we've got it on here, so why not? And these are just scraps of scrapbook paper, scraps of scrapbook that I had in my stash. These sort of scraps I used to use a lot more when I was making pocket letters and things for different colours. So as I don't really use this pack much, or these scraps, I thought, well, I've got them, Belle. Why not pull them out? I think I want that a little bit more cut and actually use them in a project. So, yay. And I wanted it spring-like colours because, well, you'll see in a minute why. So I'm going to glue that. Bits everywhere, bits everywhere. And then we are going to get the bird back over. Yeah, so you can still kind of see the stitching around the pieces. And I just think that's fun. I don't know. So now I usually have a different brush to do this with, but I'm going to do it with my stippling brush. Just going to rub over this. Don't even mind if it brings off and we can see some of the black below. Just doing it gently. And then I'm thinking, because I've never done this before, I'm thinking I might try and emboss it. I mean, I don't know how that's going to work, if it's going to work at all. I normally have, where's my much softer brush? I normally use the brush, hold on. Again, I know there's tools you can use for this, but what I normally use is I've got my Perfect Pearls brush. that's really soft on the end, unlike the stippling brush. Right. Yeah, it's really, really soft on the end, and it's perfect for gilding with. And I've got it. Does anyone still use Perfect Pearls? I love them. I have a whole collection of them, and I can't remember the last time I really used them. So I'm going to have to put this down on a piece of paper now, just to get those edges and things. And to get this little bird's feet. Because look how messy this poor little bird's feet are. You got some foot problems there. But yeah, I was thinking I might try and emboss this. It may be one technique too far. But as I said, I've never embossed with gilding on an object, on a piece before. And I just, as this is the time that I like to experiment and play, I thought, why not? Let's get that in my bin. And there we have, look how gorgeous those gilding colours are, guys. Honestly, it's so pretty. Now, on the page, it'll look like that. Which is why I didn't want anything too clashy. Like if we'd added this purple handmade paper, I just think it would clash too much. So let's go see if I can emboss this. The embossing folder is just a basic one that I got. Does it have the name on it? Oh, it's a Sizex one, but it doesn't say more than that. And I just thought we'd try this. So here's the thing, guys. Sometimes you think, oh yeah, I'm going to try something. And then you suddenly realize, if this doesn't work, I might have just ruined the whole piece. But can I just say, I love it so much. It gives it almost a metal feel. I'm going to be doing this quite a bit. So we are going to stick our little birdie down. Now, I was thinking about putting it on 3D foam, but if I'm honest, because the journal's getting so bulky already, I don't want to put it on 3D foam. Look, there's some gilding paste that's just gilding flakes that have decided they want to be there. I'm wondering about doing black lines in the middle of these. And instead of wondering, should we just do it? I've got my Posca paint pen. Do I want to do it? No, I don't. I was going to, then I decided not to. And honestly, guys, look at that gilding. I know I keep distracting you with it, and you're like, just get on with the video, Belle, but it is so delicious. So I'm so glad I thought about that. I know obviously you can emboss and kind of use paints and inks and even Perfect Pearls and things over the top to get that kind of look, but I've never tried it the other way, where I have a gilded piece and then emboss. Oh, it's so pretty. Now, as I said, one of the things in my head was free form poetry. So I have this very, very old book. It's the Book of Country. I mean, I've used so many pages in this, guys. It's very old. It has these beautiful images in it as well. And just lots of, it even came with these leaves in it. It's so old. I'm sure it's from the 50s. And it's got all these beautiful bits and birds and everything else and more weird plants and bees and all sorts. But what I did was I decided to take a page with a bird on it. Birds and their nests. And I decided to cut some words out of it, as you can see, and kind of make a very, very, let's put the number on here, shall we? Do a very, very loose kind of poem. So let's put the number 18 on there too. Let's do that. Okay, So I have in the spring, songs of the birds, beautiful feathers, gathering flowers, a cozy nest of moss, and then in woodlands, which I thought could go down there. So it's sort of loosely a poem, sort of very loosely a poem, but free form poetry. So I looked this up and it did say that, I'm sure like it has techniques, but it did say that one of the things about free form poetry is it usually doesn't have any kind of rhyming or anything like that. And I just thought, all right, I'm not saying this is free form poetry. I'm saying the idea of free form poetry or free verse poetry kind of gave me the idea of cutting out the words in the books and kind of making a random poem. And then the reason I wanted the spring colours is because obviously it says in the spring. Even though the bird itself is in autumnal colours. I mean, yeah, it's a whole thing. It doesn't matter. So let's do that on there. But I really liked this. I liked kind of picking out the words. I had a few different ones. I was thinking, do I want that? Do I want that one? That needs to go up a little bit. Do I want that? Stick down. I think my hands are so covered in glue from also doing all the gilding that it just kind of is going everywhere. Now this is what I might want. I want my really thin pen. I don't want my Posca paint pen. I want my really thin, is this it? Yeah. Pen. And I'm going to go around. I really need to make sure these are glued down. Be down. This is very old paper. And I just don't think it likes certain types of glue. I found that sometimes with old paper. It does better with a really good, strong wet glue rather than a glue stick. We're going to kind of go around these just to have them. So like I said, it's quite a simple page. We've got a few bits of scrapbook paper. We've got a tiny bit of stitching that wasn't even part of this page. It was part of the other page, but that's okay. And then we've got pieces of vintage book page. You can see I'm being a bit wibbly wobbly with my outlining because, again, I like that effect. So I like to be a bit wibbly wobbly. And then we have this beautiful gilded bird die cut that I've then embossed. So there's not a lot, like, but you don't always have to have a lot. And I also think if I did too much, it would really distract from both the words and from the bird itself. So in the spring, song of the birds, beautiful feathers, gathering flowers, a cozy nest of moss in woodlands. So what do we think, guys? I know it's a little bit random, but as I said, when I saw the word free, I thought free as a bird and free form poetry or free verse poetry. I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong. I am not a poetry expert, but I was just thinking, I actually thought it was something else, you know, like the blackout poetry where you could go through a page and then black it out. But I really liked it like this, and I just like that page. So let's put it back in the journal. It goes here. Like so. And I kind of like it across from those flowers because they're spring-like flowers, and it kind of brings in the flowers over here as well. And like I said, I added the metal to there that's now dry. But that's today's one. That's day 18. Oh my gosh, this journal. Look, guys, it's getting so chunky and we're only on day 18. I mean, it's a whole thing. But I would love to know what you think down below. And if you have tried gilding flakes with embossing before like that, should we give the bird a little eye? Should we do that? I'm kind of looking at it and I'm feeling like it needs a little eye. Right where that blue bit is. Yeah. Feel like it needed a little eye. And then I'm looking, I need that paint to kind of dry and use my white. So I only got, because that's still, what's the word am I looking for? Because it's still wet. Right, I've got the white Posca paint pen. Let's try that. Yeah, I'm going to have to wait for that to dry. But anyway, it's got a little eye now. But I would love to know what you think down below. And I will be back soon with another video. Until then, guys, thank you so much for watching. And wherever you are in the world, I hope you are having lots and lots of crafty fun. Bye for now.